There is no secret in getting to 10% body fat. Great results in any area of life comes from delaying gratification and putting in the work for the long-term benefit. The same holds true for fat loss. But with so much conflicting information online, it can be difficult to exactly know what actions to focus on to reach 10% body fat. I have had the pleasure of personally coaching over 1,000 people with great success and also went through many fat loss phases myself. Based on my experiences and our current understanding of the scientific literature, I have identified 10 habits that the people who are successful in achieving their fat loss goals have in common. And these habits do not only get you to 10% body fat, but they also help you maintain a lean and healthy body fat percentage after the fat loss phase. Take my online coaching client Adalai as an example. We lost around 48 pounds in 6 months. Because we established strong habits, 2 years later Adalai is still in great shape and reaching new heights in his fitness. I want the same for you, so let's dive straight into the 10 habits and be sure to stick around until the end of the video because habit number 10 is the most powerful. The first habit is self-monitoring. Losing fat is not something your body will do by itself. We have internal hunger and satiety signals that drive us to eat more whenever we are in a calorie deficit. So if you eat completely intuitively, you will be able to maintain your body fat percentage well. But most people will struggle with being in a calorie deficit. To make sure you are in a deficit for fat loss, we want to track both input and output measures in your fat loss process. The input measures are actions you take to lose body fat, like controlling calorie intake, eating more protein, and your workouts. Output measures show the results you get from taking the actions. Think about a lower body weight, decreased waist size, and improved strength in the gym. Tracking both input and output measures makes your fat loss process almost bulletproof. If the actions you are taking are resulting in a decreased body weight and waist measurement, awesome, keep it up. You are on the road of decreasing your body fat percentage. But if your progress measures stay stagnant for 2 to 3 weeks in a row, you know that something needs to change in your input. You might have to decrease calories, increase activity, or do a combination of both to continue progressing. Because you have tight control over your progress, research shows self-monitoring is a powerful predictor of long-term weight loss success. So track nutrition, whether that's through macro counting or portion control. And also track your results by measuring body weight, taking waist measurements, and tracking your workout performance to make sure you are losing body fat while maintaining strength. The second habit is to eat full meals, not snacks. Research shows that a high snacking frequency makes it more likely for you to not achieve your fat loss goals, because it makes it easier to go over your calories, and this is in line with my coaching experience. Most people do better if they focus on having just a few decent-sized meals daily instead of having many small eating moments throughout the day. There's actually research showing that most people feel more satiated throughout the day if they have 3 large meals versus 6 small meals in a day. Eating many small snacks can leave you with a constant appetite because you never feel filled up after a meal. So save your calories for the few hunger phases you may have in the day. For me, I get hungry a few hours after waking up, sometime mid-afternoon, and after finishing my working day. So when I'm in a calorie deficit, I fit 3 decently sized meals into these windows, and that helps me stay in a deficit comfortably. Find your hunger phases and do something similar. The third habit is to prepare your protein in advance. Research shows consuming enough daily protein helps you maintain more muscle while in a deficit. Other research shows protein also helps you feel more satiated. An easy way to get at least 1.6 grams per kilogram of your body weight in protein is to have a dominant protein source in each meal. And to be successful with this, I recommend preparing your protein sources 2 to 3 days in advance. Life is busy, so we often find ourselves going for quick and convenient meal options. But having high-quality protein rarely is a convenient option in traditional shops when you are in a rush. So for your first meal of the day, make sure you have high-quality protein sources in-house like eggs or whey protein to be mixed with your oats. For lunch and dinner, pre-cook some chicken, beef, or fish in advance for a couple of days to make high-protein eating convenient. And as a backup, you can keep a protein shake or protein bar in your environment just in case you miss a high-protein meal. The fourth habit is about volume eating. Increased hunger is one of the main obstacles for lowering body fat percentage. By eating more foods that are high in volume and low in calories, we can reduce the amount of hunger you experience while in a calorie deficit. One study established a satiety index of common foods. Foods like potatoes, brown rice, beans, and apples were found to make you feel more filled up without costing many calories. In essence, focus on having mostly whole foods as your side dishes. A treat here and there is fine, but to make your calorie deficit tolerable in terms of hunger, make sure to mostly incorporate whole grains, fruits, vegetables next to your protein sources. The fifth habit is a mindset, and that is to have dialectical thinking. We love to think in black and white terms, especially with fitness. We either are 100% consistent with our goals, or we do not care at all for a week after having a bad day. But most of the progress my coaching clients actually make is in the gray area. You do not have to be perfect to make progress. Of course, achieving 10% body fat is an important goal for you, but it is probably not the only goal you have in life. You may have a work event that requires you to be more flexible with nutrition, or you may want to go out with your family to strengthen that relationship. Dialectical thinking is a principle in psychology that refers to looking at things in the big picture. You will have days that are off track with nutrition, and that's okay. Just get back at it quickly. In the big picture, one event will not make or break your progress. Just make sure to get back on track as soon as you can. The sixth habit is about refeed days, which some people like to call cheat days. I am personally not a fan of the term cheat day because if you plan on having a higher calorie day, it's not a cheat. A refeed day basically refers to having a day per week in which you purposely eat at maintenance calories, to give your body and mind a break from being in a calorie deficit. One study found that using refeed days actually helps enhance muscle maintenance while in a fat loss phase. For the first 6 weeks of your fat loss process, you may be able to be in a continuous deficit with no problem. But as you get leaner, the challenge of being in a deficit kicks in. Having a planned day once per week in which you can enjoy higher calories makes your fat loss process more sustainable. This is also when you can enjoy some higher calorie foods that are harder to fit into your deficit days. So you can have controlled cheating or refeeding in this case. The seventh habit is to prioritize lifting. One of the key predictors of long-term fat loss success is being able to maintain muscle while in a deficit. Lifting weights is the activity that will help you retain muscle. Next to better fat loss maintenance, you also want to maintain a good amount of muscle so you have the proper muscle definition once you are at 10% body fat. So focus on creating a calorie deficit with nutrition and mostly lift weights in training for good muscle definition. This also results in more sustainable progress. If you lost weight by doing 2 hours of cardio per day, what happens once you've lost the weight and stop doing the cardio? You gain it all back. Establishing strong nutrition and training habits form the foundation of an effective fat loss phase. Habit number 8 is walking regularly. I discussed this one study before in a previous video in which walking an extra 20 to 25 minutes per day helped the participants lose 20% more fat while they were in a calorie deficit. Walking is one of the most powerful tools you can use to lose more fat. Especially once you notice your fat loss progress slowing down, adding more walking into your routine is a great tool for kickstarting fat loss progress again. This is why I often do not have to decrease the calorie intake of my clients a lot throughout our fat loss process. When we see progress slowing down, adding a morning or evening walk often does the trick. Other research shows that the habit of walking 10,000 steps per day helps you better maintain your long-term fat loss as well. So do not underestimate the power of walking. 8 to 10,000 steps per day is a good aim for most people. Habit number 9 is consistent sleeping times. Your body runs on a circadian rhythm. Having consistent sleep and wake times will improve sleep quality, reduce hunger throughout the day, and improve overall energy levels. One study found that sleeping only 5 hours per night decreased fat loss by 40% over an 8-week period. So get your sleep right, it's foundational. Now, the 10th and final habit is to give yourself daily reminders of why you want to reach 10% body fat in the first place. Your why could be feeling more confident, reaching peak health to set a good example for your family, or simply to flex hard on the beach. Whatever your why is, or you could have multiple whys, they need to be strong enough to keep you going during the hard times. The reason many people fail in reaching 10% body fat is because they get swayed by the issues of the day. Life will present challenges that make a good excuse for not training that day or not having your prepped high-protein lunch. Reminding yourself every morning why you decide to put in the work anyway is key to put you in the right mindset to tackle the day. Because this will take effort, especially if you have not been at 10% body fat before. But if you commit to the habits discussed in today's video and have a strong why, I am confident you can make it happen. If you would like my personalized help in getting to 10% body fat, visit the link in my description to apply for my online coaching service. You will be working with me one-on-one, so make sure to apply quickly as my coaching spots are limited. And that was it for today. As always, if you have any questions, feel free to leave them in the comments below. Also, if you found this video helpful, then leave me a thumbs up, subscribe to the channel if you haven't yet, and I will see you in the next one.